Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Machin Le'ira Online Smicha. With the Yontif of Chanukah approaching, I'd like to discuss a din about women connection with the mitzvah of Chanukah. The Gemara says that women are obligated in the mitzvah, and the Gemara uses the term, even though it is a mitzvah sasei shazman grama, which usually women are exempt, but because Av Hein Hayu Ba'isei Nes, they were also part of the miracle of the salvation, the victory of Chanukah, they too have to celebrate it and fulfill the mitzvahs. Now there is another, the Mefarshim say there's another way to interpret this. Not only Af Hein, not only they were part of the miracle just like the men, so they have to celebrate. They were actually the Iker on this, because the miracle came through a woman Yehudis, and therefore they should play a big role in the mitzvah of Chanukah, or at least an equal role. So that's why Takin says in Shulchan Aruch and Hilchas Chanukah that women are allowed to, not only they're allowed to, under certain circumstances, they have to, they're machuyev, to light the menorah and make a bracha. And as some achronim say, the loy kator so'ilam, not like the mistake that people make, that it's better if a woman, if she's not married or whatever, it's better for her to hear from somebody else. No, she has an equal chiyuv. She has an equal chiyuv just as the man. So if she's not married, is it a choice between going somewhere else and listening to a man making a bracha in somewhere else's house, or to do it in her and light the menorah in her own house and make a bracha, because the chiyuv of Chanukah is ishu beisai. If the chiyuv is per household, per family, and she's in her own home, it's actually better for her to light it herself in her own home, and than to hear it somewhere else from somebody else. And if she wants, in her own home, she can ask somebody to light the menorah and she'll be yotze. But there is a chiyuv on the woman, just as there is on the man. And not only that, it's preferable in her own home. So much so, the chiyuv of women and Chanukah is strong, that it's brought in Shailash Shuvas Rav Polim, Chelik Beis, Siman Samach Beis, that it also trickles down into a shul. We know that in the shul we also light the menorah, but we only light the menorah with a bracha when there is a minyan. So he actually is machadash, a big chiddush. If the minyan is, you can't put together 10 men for the minyan, but if you count the women, you have a minyan, you're allowed to make you're allowed to light the Chanukah menorah in the shul, because they are equally obligated in this mitzvah. Even when she, Baruch Hashem, she has a family, she has a husband, or as we'll soon see, a younger girl that has her father lighting the menorah, it still says in Svarim, just like by Shabbos candles, the man and the woman have equal obligation in the mitzvah, so that each one should do some part of the mitzvah. And it says in Shulchan Aruch, even though it's customary that the woman lights the Shabbos candle, the man prepares it, so he's also involved. So it actually says in Svarim that in this case too, the woman should do something to prepare the Chanukah menorah, so she shows her involvement in the mitzvah. And the Shulchan Aruch and Siman Tov Reish Ayin Hey Sif Gimel, it even says that it works so powerful that a woman could light the menorah and have her husband in mind, if the husband, for whatever reason, can't do it. So a woman is so equally mechuyev in this mitzvah that she could light the menorah and make the bracha, and yet have and be yotze her husband. Now the question is asked: if after all is said and done that women are equally mechuyev, why don't we find the women doing it? Just like every man does it. So why in the household? Why shouldn't especially by mitzvahs Chanukah, which we find that we do mahadrim min mahadrim. Mahadrim min mahadrim is only by mitzvahs Chanukah that we find so. So why wouldn't the women be mahadrim min mahadrim and light the menorah? So we find different reasons for this. One reason is that when a woman is married, ishtoi kigufa, her and her husband are considered like one. So when her husband does it, it fulfills her mitzvah too. Okay, each reason has a question, has a nafkamina halacha, but I'm just going to tell you what it says in Svarim, different reasons. The second reason is the gezerah of Chanukah was not on the physical body of the Yidden. the Gzera of Chanukah was on the religion. And by the religion, it emphasized more the religious part of the man than the religious part of the woman. And because by the religious part of the man, it says they wanted every year to write down that they don't believe in the Eibishter. And the part that they wanted to do Averis with women, halachically, is not as severe. So therefore, some Sfarim say that she could be yotzi with her husband. And the third reason, which is brought, since originally the takana of the Meneres Chanukah was al Pesach Beisim Mibachutz, literally from the outside of the house they would light the menorah, and since a woman is tznius to be indoor and not to go outside, so it became that instead of doing it herself, she gets freed by her husband doing the mitzvah, or another man in the house doing the mitzvah. Now, even though that the woman might not do the lighting of the candle, but she's still obligated, there is a part of the mitzvah that the women also are involved with. As it says in Shulchan Aruch, that the women have a custom that they don't do any malacha during the time of the lighting of the candles. As we know, the phrase that's mentioned in Haner Salolu, Ein lanu l'shush l'shtamish behem, ela l'reisim bilvad. So we try, besides not using the candles, it says in Shulchan Aruch, during the period of time that the candles are obligated to burn, women don't do any malacha. What type of a malacha don't they do? So this is it's brought in Achrayim, hard malacha they don't do, but basic things like cooking and baking and preparing meal, that's not included in the Isser. Some say, and the reason why women are machmir is because, as mentioned before, nasa nes al yadeim. How long? As long. So there's the Mishnah Berurah says either a half an hour, once it lights a half an hour, she could do the work, or others say that maybe as long as the candle is burning. Now, which type of malacha? So there are those that go a step further and make and say that the only malacha you're not allowed to do during the time the candles is lit is the malachas that are designated. Somehow the women usually do them, like sewing and ironing and washing. Those they shouldn't do, but any other malacha they're allowed to do.